Hello, everyone. My name is Jorge Diaz, president and founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing and a certified Infusionsoft consultant, or an Infusionsoft Certified Consultant, however they call us. And in this episode of Defining Infusionsoft Success, I've got Jason Schwenk. He's been a visitor or a guest on our program in the last 6 months or so. And I wanted to bring him back because I've just been eyeballing his Facebook campaign. Promoting himself, and so I figured let me call him, and we spoke last week and he told me what he's got going on, and I thought he had some good ideas for those of us running agencies and I guess his target audience on what to do. Welcome, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good. So the ad that really caught my eye was you, and it was just so simple because you basically had sticky notes and you were just kind of lifting them up. Which works great on Facebook if people haven't turned on the audio, and started something that just forced me to just jump in there. And even when I turned the audio on, there was no audio to be had, but you were saying all these things that I promise as a digital agency not to do. So, I mean, seriously, it caught my eye immediately. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do something that got people's attention, but both entertain them as well. And we've all seen those videos on Facebook with, holding up the Post-it notes, and it's all emotional. And you watch the whole thing. I mean, you're hooked in there. And I wanted to do something where I could go over things that all these agency owners know, but they don't promise themselves. And so I just wanted to kind of have a fun way to go through and kind of point out kind of the deadly sins that digital agencies do, just to get your attention, to basically create this digital agency pledge so you guys can become better. And then we're going to have a bunch of video series around this as well coming out pretty soon.
Right. So point out a couple of those, because I tell you, I mean, I was kind of going, a couple of them, it's like, okay, I got that one beat, and then it's like, ooh, yeah, ooh, that's one of mine.
Yeah. So one is, I'll never do spec work that's unpaid. Right. I'll never do RFPs that we haven't created or that we have a connection to. I will never submit a proposal for a project that doesn't have a budget, right?
Yeah.
There was even one in there that I will never play the ukulele naked in the office.
which is probably good advice.
Probably good advice, but, or I will never discount my work. I'll never work with anybody that's not the final decision maker. So, there's about 21 that we had in the video for the first video that we did. And everybody connected to it because everybody's broken them.
Yeah, no, and I tell you what, it's a lot of really basic sales advice that I know when I'm talking to someone else, and as a matter of fact, I remember last week I got together for coffee with someone who does a lot of video work, the back of my mind is like, you're really good, why are you discounting your work like that? And you start getting, a little more discussion. It's like, well, we had capacity. I want to make sure our team was busy. There's always a good rationale behind it, or sometimes it's just us kind of having messed up thinking. But it's something that we all do.
Oh, all the time. And it drives me crazy. I mean, and, we used to do this, but then when we actually started growing at scale, we actually came up with our no list. And a lot of these were on this. I mean, there's a lot of other ones too that we'll be having coming out later on. But, you have to create a no list and really kind of set the standard of the stuff you're not going to do anymore. Because the things that you say yes to that are wrong, you're saying no to the right things. And when you start realizing that, then you can actually start scaling.
No, right. And then I'm coming up and kicking myself in the butt because it's like, now I can't take on this other project because I'm so busy doing these other stupid things. There's only so many hours in the day. So you're giving away your hours at a price that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then you'll actually start saying, well, I'm too busy. And that's a telltale sign you're not charging enough. And also you're saying yes to the wrong things. And so, that's kind of why we came up with this agency pledge. And, it's been really, really successful. And the other cool thing that we've done with this is we started out with the video that we put on Facebook, but we've actually created this on SlideShare. We've done Instagram. We've done many videos on Instagram. We've put it on YouTube. We've created blog posts. So, we've created all this content just around one little idea.
Okay. So So we've talked about yours, and clearly that's kind of making sense because people can resonate. And then I guess in the back of people's minds, it's like, well, this guy gets me, which is, I want to say, classic at the very top of a long copy sales page. It's like, okay, these guys understand me, and clearly you can follow that up with other things. What are the kind of things then, as me or someone that's listening in can think about if they're trying to do something similar? Like, what are the ingredients that they want to keep in mind?
Yeah. Well, you have to know your audience, and you have to be specific with your audience. Too many of us go after the broad audience, and we say, we're going after small business. Well, small business is not a target market. Or they'll say, we're going after B2B. That's still not a target market.
Right.
You have to drill down far enough where you understand their biggest problems or what they really want. And that's the only way that this video was successful, because we understand digital agencies. I was one, right? And I work with them. So I was able to understand their biggest challenges and just kind of regurgitate that back to them. And then they're going to be like, And it almost goes back to kind of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Mm-hmm. If you say something that is true and twice, and someone's like, yeah, I get that, they're going to believe everything else after that. And so that's what we were just doing.
I want to say that's, it's not counterintuitive, it's not blatantly obvious, but if you think about how we listen to someone, hey, that made sense, hey, that makes sense, you kind of, it kind of keeps going, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're playing a game, and the cool game, and I'm huge into sports. I've always been athletic and really, really competitive, and that's why I love business, because I treat it as a sport. And the way to win is you have to get people's attention first, and then you have to hold it, right? So if you're going back to kind of the steps that you told me, the first step was knowing the audience and knowing the problem, and then the next step is, well, how do I get their attention? So I figured, hey, I'll wave to you on video and then hold up Post-it notes.
Right. Even
if you don't have your volume up, you're going to be drawn in because you want to know what's coming next. I've already hooked you.
Right.
And then I start regurgitating things that you already know is true. So now I'm building credibility as well as educating you and doing some goofy things in there as well with the ukulele.
Well, and even because I do this myself. We do Infusionsoft Consulting, so I use Infusionsoft email, messaging tactics to engage my audience. Well, in my case, because I'm selling those services, by just receiving, it's like, I have people all the time say, dude, I get your emails all the time. And interestingly enough, there are people I can't even remember the first time we connected, but these people think I'm some sort of celebrity, right? And I go, okay, well, I guess I'm doing something right, because people remember me, and you're doing the same thing. You're targeting your own audience. It's like, man, if he can market himself as well as I see him doing that, I guess maybe he's someone I should call.
That's right. Yeah, and it's about helping too, right? So at the end of the day, you got to figure out, how can I help someone? And the easiest way to demonstrate that you can actually help someone is to help them.
Right.
And then you have a call to action. But kind of the premise that we went through on the video is kind of, get their attention, entertain them, add credibility.
Yep.
And so what we did on the video is, and a lot of these things we told our audience. And so if you guys are agency owners, we have a free Facebook group that we're about to hit 1,000 agency owners, which is really amazing. And we only let us
just so everybody knows, what's the, because that's something that anybody can, I'm assuming you have to approve it, but we can just join.
Yeah, we approve it. We look at your profile, make sure you're an agency owner.
Right.
And there's no pitchy things in there. It's totally free. It's called Digital Agency Owner Insiders. So if you go to Facebook, or if you go on my website and go into resources, you'll see a link right to it. And you just have to request access, and we'll research it and we'll let you in.
Gotcha.
And so what we did is we just asked the audience, what are some things that you say you'll never do that you always do? And so what they started doing is they started coming up with amazing things. That's how I came up with the ukulele.
Yeah, what awesome. They're helping you with your content.
Exactly. And then we took it a step further. The people that actually submitted these great ideas, we actually created posters for them, little pieces of paper that they could print out or have it on their iPad. and then take goofy pictures. So then they created the content, and they sent me the pictures.
Yeah, because I saw people with their own posters. Okay, so that's how you got those.
Yeah, exactly. And so now I involve them. So now they're invested in this video, right? And then they're going to share it with everybody that they know. Like,
right.
Ian actually shared it with all his groups because he was the one with the ukulele.
Right.
And and it just gets people more engaged, and that adds credibility because they see other agency owners making this play. It's not just me holding up a poster.
Right. So when was it? I think it was about a year ago that it is something I knew, but someone came up and says, the more you niche yourself, the more you really get focused on on one specific target audience, the more you're going to increase your sales scale and all that. And we've been building membership sites for the longest time. We're big with Memberium. And when we launched our new site, we went all about membership sites. And it's interesting because in the back of my mind, I'm kind of going, oh my God, am I shooting myself in the foot? And it's just that nervousness you get. But the business is just kind of streamlined because we can do those sites so well, and we now have very straight line processes for building them. And even more importantly, it doesn't require me to be involved because I got team members who actually do this better than I can. And it's I want to say it's counterintuitive. It's a little something that makes you nervous, but it works.
Yep. Oh yeah, and the great thing is the community is not just you. So you just can't be posting your own stuff. You have to, in the very beginning, get other people chatting and asking questions. And what I found too is especially with agency owners, we like to think that we know everything, or we want to portray we know everything. Mm-hmm. And so, like, if you look at any of my other social media platforms, like whether it be Twitter or Facebook, you're not going to see many questions from agency owners asking me, because then their clients could say, oh, you're having cash flow issues, right? Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let me create this safe group, kind of going to my favorite movie, old school, right? The safe tree. Like, these agency owners are in the safe tree. And it was amazing. They're asking amazing questions. They're engaging. And the cool thing is when they're in the group and they tell other people about the group, they're always thinking of me.
As opposed to just anybody in general, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So here, again, you're helping people out, and people are getting value for it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Cool. So any cool things that we can expect coming from you?
Yes. So I'm surprised my cat hasn't jumped up while we're on.
No. So, and just so everybody knows, when we were prepping for the call, all of a sudden, you see the body of the cat just go right across the camera.
Oh, yeah. So maybe he got the hint. But, I always tell people my only competition out there is procrastination and cat videos. And so I wanted to team up with one of my competition, which is cat videos. And so if you go to this website, it's called madcatagencies.com.
Mad Cat Agencies?
madcatsagency.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to start doing a video series of cats and dogs with voiceovers teaching you agency best practices. And so what I wanted to do is educate and entertain you. And so if you go to this website, you'll see it's kind of like a fake agency of cats, and they get actually madder and madder as you scroll down the page because you haven't opted in yet.
Okay.
And so that's some of the things that we have, and then the videos are actually going to be covering I will never do this again, but I always do it. And,
okay, so the same idea. And then I guess at some point people will actually, either opt in, sign up, and at that point, they're learning more about the services that you guys offer.
Yeah, like I tell people, I've already made my money with the agency, so I'm using this as a game, and I want to help people and provide a service that I wish I had when I was going through it. And so if you go to my website, jasonswank.com, you'll see I give away probably about 70% of my stuff absolutely free. And I don't just hold back and put up, the crappy stuff. I put up the really, really good stuff. And because I want to help you guys out. And then if you guys benefit from it and you like the stuff we're doing, sure, then you can check out the programs and work with me one-on-one or whatever you guys want. If not, no problem. I was glad to help.
Right. Just by participating in your, your groups and stuff, I guess there's value to be had there.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Well, just to let everyone know, if you do want to reach Jason, he's at jasonschwenk.com. If you don't know how to spell that, don't worry about it. When we publish this program, we'll have it down there, but there's SWENK, right? Did I get it right?
Yep, I'm not related to Hillary, and my family did not own that magazine.
Okay.
And it just spelled with an E.
Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and we'll stay in touch.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.